What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan, and welcome back to another Vendor Weekly Reset. Fucking hell. So we'll start again
Stand by our
in
allies.
3,
Put our enemies down.
2,
That's politics.
1. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan, and welcome back to another Vendor Weekly Reset recommendations. Basically, this is where I recommend some of the vendor weapons on the weekly reset. I'm only going to do the ones that stand out quite significantly. I'm not going to do the ones that look sort of average. So I'm going to start off with the new Monarchy vendor. He's actually got a really good sidearm this week. I definitely recommend picking this up if you do. If you're looking for a good sidearm, pick this thing up. Absolutely amazing roll on here. So we've got high caliber rounds, we've got fitted stock or a choice out of Army of One, and we've also got rangefinder. Personally, I'd run the top row of perks so you can get that bit of extra stability on there, so you're going to be landing your shots more consistently. High caliber round for the flinch, which is always very, very useful for the Crucible. And obviously rangefinder, so you can actually get less damage drop off at effective ranges. But that's pretty much it for the new Monarchy. Let's move on to the next vendor. So we're over at the Crucible Quartermaster right now, so he's actually got some pretty decent weapons. Some of them are just below a good roll, so I'm not going to be recommending them. So you can look through them each individually if you want, but the three that I would recommend trying to pick up this week would be the Party Favor. This is a really good pulse rifle. You've got Outlaw on here, Perfect Balance, and Glass Half Full. Now, this archetype of pulse rifle did receive a nerf back when the Clever Dragon got a nerf, so do be careful with that, but still the roll is absolutely amazing. This thing should still melt in the Crucible very well. I'm actually going to probably end up picking this up myself later this week and give it a good go within the Crucible. Now the next weapon I'd recommend is the Each New Day Fusion Rifle. This thing has an amazing roll. So Icarus, so you can actually jump up in the air and actually hit your bolts consistently whilst in midair. You've also got small bore on there, so it increases your stability, so the actual fusion rifle pellets are going to be much tighter together, and you're actually going to be getting the one hit kills more consistently. And you've also got counterbalance on there again for more stability, so you're actually going to be again bringing the fusion pellets tighter together and actually getting the one hit kills more often. Now the next weapon that I'd recommend would be the Event Horizon. Now don't get me wrong, the middle perk set isn't the best, but everything else is absolutely amazing. You've got short gaze on here, you've got a choice out of triple tap or mulligan. Probably use mulligan in Crucible or triple tap in PvE. The reason I'd use mulligan in Crucible is in case you miss a shot, you have a chance of getting it back instantly. So obviously with Crucible, with a special ammo drought right now, this might be pretty decent if you're playing something like Trials of Osiris. Now down the middle, you've got a choice out of skip rounds or casket mag. You might want to go for casket mag, as obviously the rate of fire of the thing's really low anyway, so you've always got a chance to reline your actual scope on the enemy's head, so the stability doesn't really matter. And then for the last perk, you've actually got Hidden Hand. Short gaze as well for the scope. You've also got Taxis on there. I know Taxis is getting a little bit of I've seen more people starting to use Taxis as of recently as well, so to say that it has these two scopes is amazing. Short gaze is considered the best scope in the game, so definitely recommend picking that one up. But that's going to pretty much do it for the Crucible Quartermaster. Let's get on to the next weapon vendor. So I've just been over to the Dead Orbit vendor, and he doesn't actually have anything worthwhile getting this week in my opinion. Some of the weapons are almost pretty good, but the majority of them are just very lackluster. I just wouldn't really recommend wasting your time trying to get any of these this week. The Scout Rifle is okay, but again it's just sort of meh. It's sort of below average. The roll on this last week was absolutely amazing, and this is just sort of like a poor man's version of last week's roll. So definitely no weapons for Dead Orbit this week, so I just thought I'd let you guys know. Let's move on to the Vanguard Quartermaster. So for the Vanguard Quartermaster, we've only got one weapon that I think is actually pretty decent this week, and that is going to be the Angel's Advocate Scout Rifle. Now this thing has a Fatebringer roll on. Now if you don't know what the Fatebringer is, it's a hand cannon from the Vault of Glass, which is actually the weekly featured raid this week, so definitely try and get a Fatebringer if you can. But it's got Outlaw on, it's got explosive rounds and Firefly, so this thing absolutely going to be a wrecking house in PvE, in strikes, in raids, in nightfalls, whatever you want to use it in. It's going to be an absolute beast for anything like that. You've also got small bore on here as well if you don't like explosive rounds. I know some people don't like it because it tends to mess with the Firefly perk, that is also another option for you. That's going to pretty much do it for the Vanguard Master. Let's go get over to the Future War Cult. So for the Future War Cult this week, we've got two weapons that are actually pretty decent. So the first one I'm going to recommend is the sidearm, the Wormwood. Now this thing is very close to the old vendor roll, I think. So it's got high caliber rounds, got hand loaded on there, and rangefinder. If it was up to me, I'd use hand loaded rather than Zen Moment. I don't really think Zen Moment's that much of a good perk. You're either going to miss your shots or land them anyway, and hand loaded on there for the extra range, so you get a little bit more damage over the longer ranges. I think that's going to be the better option in my opinion. The next weapon I'm going to recommend is the rocket launcher. Now, I by no means am recommending this for the Crucible. This rocket launcher would be absolutely terrible for the Crucible. But if you are a PvE player and you like playing strikes, you play raids, you play story missions, you do all that sort of stuff, this thing is going to be for you. It's actually got hard launch in there for more velocity and blast radius, which is always nice. Flared magwell on there for a bit more reload, which is also a very good plus. Tripod on there for more rockets, and cluster bombs for actual, more AoE damage once your rocket's actually blown up. So I mean, there's nothing real to moan about on this rocket launcher. Absolutely solid weapon roll, in my opinion. That's going to pretty much do it for the actual vendor rolls this week. Hopefully, it actually helps you guys go pick a few up. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for future Destiny content. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.